Hello, I'm back with another video. Today, I wanted to talk about using psychoactive substances as tools rather than just empty entertainment or things to pass time. Using them as tools, I think leads to a more productive and successful life overall if you are not just trapped by the substance and rely on it to feel good and not bored and entertained. If you actually use it to create or put good out into the world, then it is way better than empty usage that doesn't amount to anything. So, first, respect your tolerance and take care of it. This is very important because often people who use every day, or even more often, will have quite a high tolerance, which is a negative in doing psychoactive substances, believe it or not, because you actually want to feel things when you do the substance and not have to do a crazy amount of it to feel something or feel good. Usually your tolerance goes up if you use more of the substance than you really should be doing. So if you use multiple times a day or sometimes even every single day, it will go up, and it just leads to you taking more and more, needing to take more and more to achieve the same result. Would you not rather get higher for less when the alternative is just using more substance for the same result? That's why I think moderation and taking care of your tolerance is very important. It means that you get higher with less and you get to actually enjoy the substance that you have instead of using it all up and then being disappointed. Second, use in a healthier manner, because if you are using it as a tool and you are of the mindset that you don't really want to give it up but would like to continue partaking, doing so in a healthier manner will lengthen the amount of time that you can enjoy the substance for over your life, because years down the line you won't be getting as many health complications from your unhealthy habits. There are many ways that you can use in a healthier manner. For example, with bud, you can stop smoking J's and blunts. Those are the unhealthiest method of consuming. You can move to bongs. From bongs and flower, you can move to dabs. And dabs, I believe to be the healthiest method of consuming available right now, but they're obviously more expensive depending on where you live. Carts are another alternative. I'm not sure where they fit on the range. I think it depends on the cart quite a lot with how they're made and what is in the actual cart, but they can very much be healthier than even flower rips out of a bong. So if you plan to use for a long time, I think healthier methods of using are very important. Take care of your body, and your body will take care of you back. It will be nice to you, and that will let you keep your habits for longer without feeling the negative side effects. Number 3. Tip number 3 from the mindset of using psychoactive substances as tools is to respect the substance. This applies to psychs a lot, but it goes for any other substance. For example, with psychedelics, it's very easy to take too much because you're like, oh, I'm not feeling anything, I'll just take more. This ain't hitting, I'll take more. I'm feeling extra today, I'll take more. And then you just get slapped in the face and burned by the psychs because you took way too much. You have to give the substance time to work. You have to let it do its thing. You have to respect it. Another aspect of respecting it is to set aside time when you can partake in the substance. Imagine if you have things to do, but you just randomly decide, oh, I'm gonna trip out on acid, and then you have to do all those things while tripping out on acid. It's probably not gonna be very fun. It's gonna be more stressful. So now all of a sudden you are actively inhibiting yourself from doing useful and productive things because you just disrespected the substance and wanted to randomly do it. This can apply to bud as well, where if you have stuff to do, then you, instead of doing it, you're like, oh, I'll just smoke now. Then all of a sudden you are way less inclined to actually go do those things. You would rather just sit there and play a game or enjoy a YouTube video, and then the high wears off and you're like, oh damn, I still haven't done anything, but I kind of want to smoke again. You just smoke more. So respect the substance, understand what it's going to do to you, and arrange your day in such a way that the substance won't negatively impact what you set out to do and what you wanted to do. Use the substance to accomplish things. I think if you have writer's block, or you're burnt out, or you don't know what to do in a certain activity, especially if it's a creative one, like writing scripts for these videos, or a drawing, or you're building something in a game or in real life, smoking can actually increase your creativity and give you a lot of ideas for things that you can do and make that creative task easier. Or if you don't really want to go on a walk, but you need to walk your dog, and then you smoke and go on the walk, it's a good use of the substance, because you are encouraging yourself to do things that you wouldn't really want to do sober, but now you're either better at coming up with them or gonna enjoy the action way more. This lets you feel way more productive, and you actually do things when you're under the influence, instead of just being under the influence and enjoying it, but then you come back to your life after it wears off and you're like, damn, nothing changed. Well, if you actually use the substances to accomplish things, then things will change and you'll feel productive and you'll feel good. Coping can be healthy. Using a substance to cope can be healthy. Everyone copes. Some people, sober people, still have to cope with things. They just do so in different ways. You know, somebody might have a bad day at work, and if they're a person who can handle their emotions and somebody who can control themselves, they might go to the gym, or they might go on a late night walk or drive, or they might go and train martial arts, or they might just sit at home and play video games to relax. You know, somebody who isn't very good at handling their emotions might pass those negative emotions onto someone else by arguing or yelling at somebody or just being mean. Substances, especially bud, can offer, and mushrooms, substances, can offer very healthy coping mechanisms. If you have such bad events in your life that you can't process sober, or your usual coping methods won't really work for them, I think you can just mentally reset yourself by smoking or taking something, and it will help you deal with that bad event very well. You won't pass those negative emotions onto other people, you won't upset anybody or do something stupid that you'll regret later. You can just come home and chill, indulge in the substance, use some, and then you'll feel way nicer, and you can process those negative emotions in that bad day in a healthy manner that doesn't negatively impact anyone else. However, there's a balance to it. Don't use substances as your only coping mechanism. You know, it has to be on a scale. You should still have other sober coping mechanisms, like going to the gym, like training martial arts, like going on walks, playing video games, hanging out with your friends, anything that makes you feel better and makes you forget about bad things that could have happened before. Don't use the substance as your only coping mechanism, because that builds dependence on it. You won't be able to process your emotions or deal with events properly sober if you always rely on a substance to make you feel good after something bad has happened. And that's not a trap that you want to fall into, because that very, very quickly leads to addiction and dependency, which are very negative things that you don't want to happen. Next, bad days versus bored days. Being bored is okay. It pushes you to do things. You should not reach for a substance every time you feel bored. You shouldn't immediately want to smoke or want to take something. I know that's what a lot of people feel like, because it's so easy to just smoke a bowl and then you're not bored again. But let that boredom sit with you. Let it force you to do something else. Your boredom is like a signal that you should do something. Don't just silence it with substances. Listen to it and do something. If you actually do something productive or do something useful or something fun even, you will feel way better about it than if you just smoked another bowl and then sat again. Because the bowl's gonna wear off and you'll just be bored again. Never use to escape from your situation. Fix it first. Really try not to use substances when you are just bored. Obviously, if you have a whole day that's empty and you've already done, say you had your work week, you're done with work for the week, you have done all your little home tasks that you have to do, and you have the whole day ahead that you were already planning to just use and relax, then it's perfectly fine to just take something and be not sober for the whole day. Because that's what the day was for. You're relaxing, you're unwinding. But don't reach for it every time you get bored. Do things. That should be your primary method of coping with boredom. Actually going out and doing things. If you're having a bad day, you should deal with the bad day first and then smoke after. Don't let yourself get broken by the bad day. Don't just... Obviously it depends on how bad the day is, but I promise you that if you stay strong and you don't let yourself get broken by the bad day, the smoke at the end of the bad day will feel so much more rewarding and better. If you survive the day, if you deal with it, if you sort it all out, then you come home, sort out all your tasks, do all the things, and then you sit down and have a nice calm session. It will feel so much better than if you're in the middle of the bad day and you are quickly like, I'm just gonna smoke a bit to feel better and then I'll continue. It's just gonna make you more stressed out about your day. It's going to make you less capable of dealing with it, even physically, because you'll be less coordinated, you'll be less sharp mentally. It will make the bad day get worse. Deal with the bad day first, then smoke. It's infinitely more rewarding. Same point again, but deal with things sober, use after. You are better at dealing with things when you're sober. So deal with things sober, even though it's harder, and then use the substance as a reward. This ties into my next point, using as a reward. Psychoactive substances can be a very, very good motivational tool. If you're ever not really willing to do something, or you are not really feeling like something, if you just tell yourself, if I go and do this, I can then indulge and use, you'll be much more likely to do it. A lot of people will just sit and they'll go want to do something. They're like, oh, I'll just smoke a bit before I go to the gym. And then they smoke a bit and then, oh, this YouTube video is so interesting. This game is suddenly so fun. I want to go to the gym even less now. But if you flip it the other way around and you tell yourself, if I go to the gym, I can then come home and smoke. And you don't let yourself break that. If you stick to it, all of a sudden you're gonna go to the gym way quicker. You're gonna be done at the gym way quicker so that you can get home and smoke after. And that smoking session is gonna feel so much better after you've gone to the gym, after you've done the thing that you were trying to motivate yourself to do. Because you've done something, and it's fair enough that you are rewarding yourself after it with a substance. Work hard, party hard. Kind of the same thing again. Do all your tasks, then relax at the end of the day. Don't flip it the other way around. This section at the end is specifically about psychedelics. I know I've already done a video on psychedelics. This covers it from a little bit of a different angle. Go watch the psychedelic video as well, it's very good. Ask yourself questions when you are tripping. And listen. When people go to a normal therapist, the therapist asks guiding questions and the conversation to make you examine yourself in a non-judgmental and introspective manner where you can then help yourself. The therapist almost never can fix you. They will just help you fix yourself. You can help you fix yourself by using psychedelics as a therapist. If you are your own therapist and you ask questions that will guide you to think on your behavioral patterns, why you do certain things, why you act certain ways, and why you respond to certain stimuli in certain ways, psychedelics will make it way easier to think about it in a non-judgmental and third-person manner, where you're not going to just reply with a pre-thought of response that defends your ego and your personality. You will actually think about the question and come up with an answer that is more true to the truth, more closer to the truth. Don't run away from the trip when you're tripping. You have to let it happen. The psychedelics will not harm you. They are not a drug that you can OD on. They're not a drug that will cause physical damage to your body or mind. Respect them and understand that they are just trying to help you, and if a trip seems so scary and so bad, that's because what it's trying to show you from inside your head, it seems scary and bad to you. It's like a really bad pimple. It will hurt to get rid of, but it will be good when it's gone. It's causing you like a hidden pain that you've learned to not feel, and it will hurt to get rid of it and process it. But once it's gone, you will feel so relieved. If the trip is scary and bad, that's because you are scared and think that what it's trying to show you is bad. When don't be scared. Let the psychedelics show you things. They will be careful. If you take too much, this ties into respecting the substance. If you take too much, then they will be very strong and overwhelming and not as nice. But if you've actually respected the substance and took a proper amount for yourself, they will feel guiding and nice, and it will be way easier to introspect and look at yourself and ask questions, because you will not be overwhelmed, but you will still be shown and guided through your emotions and your psyche, which can be very useful. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.